Hey guys, so I'm just going to do a quick recap from our Zoom meeting today. I'm going to go over the midterm and kind of specifics about it and then what to expect for next week. So bear with me, I'm going to switch the screen over. All right, so um, I've posted the midterm under week 11 so that you guys can kind of see. I'm going to go over the actual prompt first. So obviously it's not a real presentation. You're just going to be submitting slides that you guys will work on as a group. It is a midterm, so it's 50 points, so keep that in mind. But essentially I want you to pick one literary theory and then apply it to one or more stories. I wouldn't do more than two stories. But yeah, so one literary theory and one or more stories that you're going to apply that theory to. So, for example, if you're working on Marxist theory, you could focus on how the characters in the story, such as the swimmer, interact based on their economic situation, or how social class is critiqued within the story. So that's an example. Or if you're going to work on feminist theory, you might look at social norms in a story like The Wallpaper and how women are oppressed, dominated, and dehumanized. You can also talk about how the medical field is critiqued in that story. So that would be more of a historical lens. Or you could talk about her psychosis. So you could talk about it from a psychoanalytical perspective. So whichever one you want, but only pick one lens. So the presentation, right? So I'm basically asking you guys to do like a either Google Slides or Prezi or whatever kind of community type presentation mode that you want, as long as all of you guys can share it. And it is formal, so I'm expecting perfect grammar, perfect sentence structure. I don't want to see mistakes because, again, this is taking the place of a written essay. So I'm expecting somewhat perfection. So basically, you want to provide some context about the lens itself, and you want to cite how you found out about that lens, like what it is. And you can apply your articles that you have found, and I'm going to go over that in a second because I've put them all in one place for you. And then you want to make basically interpretations, analysis on the story using the theoretical lens, and make sure that you use quotes, cite things, make sure that anything that you have on there that's an image or a video is captioned, right? Where the underneath the video or the image you have where you got the source from. That's very important. And you need to have a works cited page. So that should be the last page of your presentation. Again, like you're in groups, you decide who does what, but every person is responsible for their own slide. And I would suggest that you put your name on the slide that's yours. But make sure that they're cohesive and that the presentation looks formal and organized. So if you notice that someone in your group is not doing what they need to be doing, you need to let me know immediately. Okay, so if people aren't contacting you, if they're not doing their work, send me an email. I'll get on them about it. That is not your responsibility, okay? You're not like managing people. So everyone's responsible for their own parts. So here's some dates on the 23rd. So Monday, you guys are going to meet anytime during the day you want. And then I want you to post your progress before the end of the night. So basically before midnight on Monday. Same thing for Tuesday. We are not having official Zoom meetings those 2 days because I just want to give you guys time to work together. I am going to be holding my time there, so I will still set up a Zoom meeting. And if you want to come in there and talk to me or just get clarity or whatever, I will be there Monday and Tuesday from 9 to 10 in Zoom, but it is not required. Okay, and then the 25th, your slides are due. So here are the groups. Well, this is for one of the classes. The other class has separate groups. So just so you know, that's the groups for that class. And then you're just going to submit your slides here on the 25th before midnight. One other thing I wanted to go over. So I also posted a rubric for this. So this is the rubric. This is how I will grade you. It's very much like the essays. It's just changed a little different. So you want to look at this and make sure you understand like how you're going to be graded. And going back. Yeah. I also posted an example of one of my classes did this like years ago, and I thought that this was a really good one. And as you see, here's the caption under the image, right? They did a pretty good job. It's not perfect. Like some of the stuff needs to be cited. But they did a good job. Like some of the citations were here. They did too many stories though. I would only focus on like two. But you can see, and some of these are videos, so you can click on them and they have a whole history of feminism, and any kind of like important videos or cultural images you want to include is totally fine in this. And then you don't need to do this discussion because we're not doing a presentation in person. And then this is their works cited page, and it's actually really well done, so you can look at it as an example of what they're supposed to look like. Okay, and then, so one more thing. Actually, I have a few more things. So I posted I went through all of your homework assignments, and I want to just commend you guys. You did such a good job finding those articles. Like there was variety. So I basically put the story and then all the articles that you guys came up with for those stories. So please use this source, okay, when you're working on your midterm, and then again when you do your next essay, which we're going to talk about next week. So this is here. Both classes have access. It's everybody's stuff. So I've combined the both classes together so you could see what everybody found. Anything that wasn't credible, I didn't include, and I let some of you know if one of your sources wasn't, because I did click on each and every one. So just be careful about credible sources. If you have questions about that, let me know. So again, we're not doing any Zoom meetings these first 2 days. I will put them up here, and you can come in and talk to me if you need to, but not required. So essentially your homework for Monday and Tuesday is the same. You're going to meet with your group at whatever time you want, work on your presentation, and then each person in each group, so not like one person per group, but every single individual needs to tell me what they specifically did and what still needs to be done. So everybody should be pulling their weight. And again, if people aren't doing things, let me know immediately so I can message them and find out what's going on. Okay. Oh, one other thing. If you're ever having trouble finding articles, feel free to ask the librarians. You can chat with them via online. You can also call them. So they for sure will be able to, like when I was doing my master's thesis, I was working at Skyline and I was trying to find articles on something and I couldn't. And I went to the library on a whim, and the librarian was awesome. She found me like 6 sources that I needed. I ended up using them in my master's thesis, and they will literally email you the sources. So feel free to use them as you know, a resource, because they're definitely here for you. Okay, that's it. If you guys have any questions, as usual, please don't feel afraid to email me. You're not bothering me. I'm checking my email constantly. And I hope you guys have a somewhat enjoyable weekend, despite the circumstances. All right, goodbye.